I was reading how, so you start at 17 and you work your way. So you're an unpaid intern at rock bottom.
Mm-hmm.
I brought like no pun intended. You work your way up to assistant like brewmaster, right? With it was Brian McConnell, I think, right, who started Sterling Peg.
Yep, that's correct.
And oh my God, we love them too. I mean,
his beer is fantastic.
Oh, I know that. They started, I think, what media now? There's the one in Westchester is one I always love going to.
Yeah, they started the media. It has to be 6 years ago now, 5 or 6 years.
Oh my God. But it's so cool. So I guess like, how much did you learn from that process? And also like, not to like, and it's probably weird for you to like try to pat yourself on the back on this, but like I was blown away reading this. I was like, damn, he started like at the bottom and you worked your way all the way to that point. Like that's like, it takes guts, it takes grind, it takes effort. Like, and it shows in your beer now. Like, when I was like reading that, I'm like, this doesn't surprise me at all. Like, I mean, just your work ethic's incredible.
Yeah, it came from, my father is an extremely hard worker, and I really think that I gained a lot of his work ethic. So college was tough, man, because like by the time that I was a sophomore, no, I guess I had started my junior year and I was professionally brewing, and I was like, well, do I really need to finish my college degree? And I did, but I was working over 40 hours a week between 3 jobs and going to school full time, just because I really wanted to be a brewer. And my parents really pushed me to finish my college education, and that work ethic sort of just went through into my career. I spent a few years with Rock Bottom, a few years between Saucony Creek and Kutztown, Manayunk, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I was gonna say I wrote them down. Like they're all such great places. Like man, oh my God, all the ones. And then there was Kane, I think, right? And
yep. So Kane was like the next big break in my career. After getting into the industry, I'd say I was the head brewer at Kane. I think it was 2014 or 2015, and I worked with them during a really instrumental growth period for them, and we were brewing our asses off, just making head high and overhead. There are 2 IPAs, and he was riding high on the gold medal win from A Night to End All Dawns at GABF, and we were working on our dark beer program, and we formulated the recipe Sunday Brunch, which is a spoof off of Morning Bell, which was a previous beer for them. And that took off, and all those things were going well. And then I got approached by Gene from Tired Hands, and he sort of headhunted me. I just happened to be in the cafe one day, and he like pulled me aside, and because we knew each other, and he was like, "Hey, I'm building this project. Do you want to see it?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure. I'd love to go see it." And I'm like, inside my head, I'm freaking out. I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm going to see the space that he's building." And we're like walking through, and by the end of it, he pretty much had offered me the job to build and run the fermentoria. So did that for a few years, got that off the ground, put in the canning line, put in a third space there to do more production, was building a lab. At the time he was building the general store, and all those things that eventually happened over the last 2 years, like St. Winter's Cafe and the Beer Garden, were all things that we were talking about at that time. And I burnt out. I just did I was 26 or 27, and I'd been working 80 hours a week, and I was just I just burnt out, and left Tired Hands and started my own consulting company.